Mi gente, saludos. Welcome to another episode of Hoy en Día TV. OMG, it is May already. So many fun things coming up. I know you all are feeling the weather porque está caliente. Today was 90 where I'm at. Pretty sure it was warm and toasty where you are at. But like usual, Hoy en Día TV, bilingual lifestyle show where we talk about de todo un poco. We have different guests. We just have fun. But the goal is to positively motivate and enlighten each viewer at a time. So if you have a business, if you have anything, something that you want to talk about, hit me up. Hit us up here. Hoy en Día TV. We'll be glad to have you. So as per usual, I'm going to bring my co-host on because we have a great episode also. Right before I bring my co-host on, I will share we have a special guest. I'm really excited about this one, and I know you all are going to enjoy. But let me bring on first Manny. Manny Morales, welcome to the stage.
Hey, bendiciones, bendiciones. ¿Cómo está mi gente? What's up, people? How's it going? How was y'all week? Let me know in the
Right, how
comments.
was your week?
Ah, it's been not too bad so far. It's only like Thursday. Well, the week is pretty much over, but
Right. I'm like, what?
it
Right.
hasn't been bad. My schedule hasn't been too heavy. It's been pretty light. Since the last fashion show. I just got a couple rehearsals now and then, but for the most part, I've kind of, evened out. So it's not as busy as it has been, but that's subject to change at any time.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
How
but
was
you
your?
know, the good thing is that busy is not bad. Busy is good because
No,
that
it's
means you're
not.
getting out there, you're
Right,
networking, you're
right.
diving into different things that you just don't know what opportunities those will bring. Que
Yep,
puertas pueden abrir, más oportunidades, growing, you're getting exposure. So that's great. That's awesome.
exactly.
Yes,
How was
yes,
your week?
yes. You know what? My week was good. Busy
Good.
as per usual.
Right,
But it's going great. I can't complain. Like I shared in our message earlier, every day that we wake up is an opportunity to be great.
right,
But for those who are feeling down or on the dumps, think about that. Today may not be a good day for you, and that's okay. Just breathe.
right.
Let it go. Suéltalo. Porque mañana es otro día. Tomorrow's another day. You get the opportunity to try again. Trata
Exactly.
de nuevo para ser una persona mejor, to do things better and different. And
Hmm.
now I read that too somewhere. Sometimes people let things pile up on them that if they go to sleep and wake up, most of the time they feel better because they're like, okay, I got a nap, and now I can think differently.
Hmm.
But what do you think? What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I agree with that. Like sometimes when you take a nap, you let some things go, but
Mhm.
sometimes depending on what you're dwelling on, when
Yeah,
you go to sleep, you might dream about it, and it just brings that negativity back into your life, and it never goes away. So it's like people wake up thinking about the same thing and just dreading and having that negative energy. And I try to meditate before I go to bed, or right before I fall asleep. It helps, or prayer, or I go I see. Porque the negativity, man, that's draining. Like you could go to sleep and sleep on negativity and wake up feeling even worse than you did, before you went to sleep. It's
right.
not good.
Absolutely.
It's not good
Yeah,
at all.
I feel you. Yeah, I agree with that. And Manny, guess what? Our other co-host is here, back in the building.
Busy,
Tim
busy.
Stewart.
Look who it is. Look
What's
at
happening? What's
Tim.
happening?
Nice. Tim is in the building.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back. Thank you guys. Man, I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys so much. So much love and encouragement. Just lifing and different things, showing up, but we're here. I
Right.
sent a message to Yessie. I said, we winners don't give up, cave in and quit. We don't quit, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I felt really bad because I wasn't here at the show. This
Right.
this 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 show means a lot to me, right?
Right.
And I made a commitment, right? And
Right.
I'm uncomfortable when I make a commitment, and whatever, it doesn't matter what the reason is. I That's not who I am.
Right.
So I'm glad to
Some
be back.
people some people don't care about the commitment. That people make, plans and just it doesn't really no le importa. They just it don't matter. I can't
Right.
make it, But like that I think that's one trait that we all share that we stand on business. So if we make a commitment, it doesn't matter what's going on in our lives. I mean, unless it's like an emergency or like you want a car
Right.
accident or something, you're not gonna make it, of course. But I definitely try to make every appointment that I actually make. So I think that's one thing we have in common. That's
Yeah.
why our
Well,
energy is the way it is.
I appreciate that about both of you, to be honest, and I thank you, because I do get that life happens, right?
Right.
But it's a thing about us coming together with 3 different backgrounds. Yeah, we have similar paths based on
Right.
what we do,
Mhm.
but nevertheless, we have different types of energies that come together in a positive way to bring this show together, and then
Right.
with our guests. And then, like I was sharing with Manny before I brought you on, Tim, just being able to have different network, different exposures, different things, because we don't know what opportunities come from this. This show, I feel it. This is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Right now, it's growing. It's in the growing
Right.
stage. And
Right.
trust me, mark my word, today's May 2nd, 2024,
I'm about to say,
7:37 p.m. I know, right?
Go backwards, lady.
7:37 p.m. Mark my words. This show is going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you
We're just
are
in the
gonna be-
infancy stage. That's it.
Hey, look, I'm definitely. I was talking to Yessie the other day, and she was like, "Let me know when you coming our way so we could do something live." And I'm like, "I'm gonna make a plan. Like, I'm not coming your way anytime soon, but like, I'm definitely going to make a plan for if not July, because I have 2 fashion shows in July. Maybe in August. I don't have anything in August, so I'm definitely gonna make a plan on trying to come out there so we could just get together and do an actual live show. It's gonna have to be during the week so we can stay consistent with Thursday.
Yeah.
But definitely, I definitely want to come out there and
Man, that's gonna be awesome.
vibe
Look,
with y'all. And then,
got goosebumps.
right, since I opened the door, y'all could come down here to Florida, you know what I'm saying, and kick back in the sun.
No problem. I ain't got no
Out
problem.
there. I'll put it in the universe,
Hey, wepa!
When I looked at all of the shows that are lined up, I was looking.
Right.
I was like,
We got a lot of people lined up,
wow.
man. We
I
got
was
a
like,
lot of
boy, this is
Awesome.
real here. This is for real.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is for real. And
Yeah.
and the very first episode that I shared when we started, I started this journey back in 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
And my co-host, shout out to Remy, he was great. And then Rah-1, he's actually our guest today. He's my producer, my co-producer with me. And so, and then we had Ruben Reyes as well on the camera and co-producer. So we started this back then, and COVID hit, right? And things happen. Life happens. I paused it, and then I picked it back up with you two, and now it's just taking a new energy, new level, new momentum, because it's growing. It's a different day. It's a different time. Things are changing for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
That's how it's a divine vision. It doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
I mean, hey, look, I always got to throw something funny in there. Have apple seeds stop producing apple trees?
No, definitely not. But yeah, once these summer events start kicking off, I'm gonna go out there and interview some people for Oyendia. Like, just do some random, questions.
I've got a couple people I'm talking to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got a couple people as well. So I haven't landed anybody that was ready to make the commitment, because I was looking at the schedules like, I got to schedule them out now in September.
Hey, look, August and September, man, because we definitely booked. I'm really excited to meet Rah, because I did my research on him, and he's definitely got a lot going on, man, and he's definitely doing a lot of positive things in the community. So I'm definitely,
yes, absolutely, and I'm excited that he agreed to be on. I mean, that's money, that's my baby, but we're both professionals. We're both professionals, right? And so I really, thank you. Yeah. Go on my website, yessierodriguez.com. Nita.
Yeah.
She's always buying earrings from people.
It's part of my Divine Beauty and Accessories line.
Right.
But going back to Rah-1, he is an amazing individual. He and I met, 2011?
Okay.
So we were friends before we decided to,
Right.
get in the path of partnership and growing together as a couple.
Right.
And
Especially
so,
with your careers, like, y'all were so focused on, trying to develop your careers. Like being in a relationship, you had to make sure that y'all were prepared for that. Like, that's kind of why I don't get into a relationship, because a lot of women, they want all your time. And it's like, I don't have a lot of time to give you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to build something. So it's like, the negative and the animosity kind of breaks everything apart, because it's like, I can't give you time and I feel bad for it. But, at the end of the day, you knew what you were getting into. So it's like, I can't feel bad, because,
You were
you
up
knew, like,
front,
right.
and
Like,
and they
this
and
is
they
what I'm
tell
trying
people,
to do, you know?
yeah,
So,
they tell women,
well,
look,
yeah,
mhm.
if you want a good man, be prepared to be with a busy
man.
man.
Right. Exactly. Because you
but
don't
how
want a
about this?
man that, right.
But how about this, Maddie? How about bringing her into what you're doing to see if she's interested,
Right.
and that
But
way she
a lot
can
of,
participate with you, right?
and I agree with that. I agree with that. But a lot of women are scared or are timid to be in the spotlight, especially if they've never been.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah. They're self-conscious about their figures. They're self-conscious about the way they look. Um, they're shy to be on TV, like, and it's like they love to, and support you to a certain extent, but it's like, when are you gonna have time for me? Like, you know what I'm trying to do. So,
And,
Right.
and,
a lot
and
of women don't like planning anything either. They want the man to plan something. So it's like, if I'm too busy, like, you plan something, and then be like, what day, do you have this day off? Do you have anything to do on this day? All right, cool. Save that day, because we're going to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm, mhm.
yes, you brought something up. It's called compatibility. See,
right,
you
Right,
guys match,
right,
right.
and I coach that everybody is not the right fit for everybody.
Hmm.
As an entrepreneur, everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. It takes a
right.
lot of dedication and commitment and
Right,
time. It takes saying no to a lot of things where, you know, man,
right,
I haven't turned my TV on in 2 weeks
right.
because I
Like,
work
why do you have a
from the
TV,
time I
right?
get up until the time I go to bed.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You just don't have time for a lot of things that free time is what I'm saying. You late nights and early mornings, and it's just, if you have to stay consistent, and if you don't, then you're not going to get too far in this industry. You know what I'm saying? And to be consistent, you have to stay on the grind. That's why I'm a brand ambassador, and I do the podcast, and I'm an author, and I'm a model, because I'm trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, no, and I respect that completely. Um, Earlier when y'all made the comment about women being shy and all that, the reason why I made the face is because I see a lot of women that are exposing themselves too much and they're feeling themselves too much.
Right,
So it's
right.
like, ooh,
But
okay,
But
So, and
those,
I guess it's not representative of everybody, and I respect that. You're right;
right,
it's not everybody.
right. That's that.
But
Unless
mhm.
you're, what I'm saying, like that type of woman, what I'm saying, that's not the type of woman that you want to take home to mom. You know what I'm saying? You got to think to
Okay.
yourself, do you really want to take that chick to your mom? You know what I'm saying? So the ones that actually, are down to earth, are really shy and self-conscious about the way they look. So
and that's a level of maturity.
right,
Yeah,
You
I
definitely,
know,
agree.
yes,
Yeah.
she's always glamorous, right?
right,
But
and respectable
but
though. Like, I've
classy,
never
right?
seen, right, I've never seen
Not
Yessie, like,
assy, as I say.
half dressed or anything. Everything that I see Yessie, she's always, dressed
Class,
to impress
first
and
class.
very glad. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so,
Exactly. So,
and you know what? Let me tell you something. You want me to go deeper?
Go deeper. Give it to him. Give it to us.
Because what that says, when we see females who are revealing more than what they should to the public, it is a indication that they don't know their value. See, if you got something really valuable, man, you hide it. Uh you don't show all your diamonds to everybody.
That's
You
true.
keep your pearls hidden away. Only special people get to see what's really valuable to you.
Right.
So it's just, sometimes that's what that is. It's just an indication of, someone who has not yet discovered their value. And yes, you know what I see when I see you doing your thing is the inner beauty, the
Right.
inner you being
Thank you.
exposed to the outer you. Yes, you're
Right.
an attractive woman
Right.
physically,
Of
but
course.
guess what? Your inner beauty,
Mm-hmm.
they match.
Right.
Thank you. That's sweet.
You know what I mean?
That's all God. Man upstairs.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
agree. I definitely agree.
I appreciate that. Well, gentlemen, so collectively we have a lot of talent,
Yes.
and we each bring different, unique, amazing things to the table.
Right.
And with that being said, and I would say that I would consider us entrepreneurs as well.
Right.
And so keeping that in mind, the guest of our segment today, Rah-1, he is a polymath of the arts, leads as a national podcast host because he has Sparking Conversation that comes
Right.
on Tuesdays, 8
Mhm.
p.m. Music artist, filmmaker, etc. He has a clothing line, Collective Wear, that I model for. And actually, I'm looking for models for Collective Wear. So, viewers, if you want to model for Collective Wear, men and women, oh, man, yep, I got you. Hit me up. Hit oyandiatv@gmail.com up. We're going to work something out. But Ra's entrepreneurial spirit is deeply rooted in a spiritual ethos, infusing his work with purpose and resonance. And I agree. He definitely, everything he does is very meticulous. I see his passion, his drive for what he does. And through diverse mediums, Rah-1 ignites hearts and minds, forging connections that transcend boundaries and beyond. So without further ado, welcome to the stage, Rah-1.
Peace,
Woo-woo!
peace,
What's going on? What's going on?
peace.
How y'all
how you
doing?
doing, Doc?
Not too bad,
Good,
man. Good
good,
to see
brother.
you,
Good
bro.
to meet y'all, for real.
Truly excited to have you on. So, hey,
Definitely, man.
first and foremost, how are you? How was your day? How was your week?
I mean, today's been a different day. I was listening to you all in the beginning, and we was talking about that nap. 'Cause I came home today straight. I think I picked my son up for a little while, and I blacked out. So if I sound a little groggy, y'all, I'm just getting back to life. Cause I promise
Yeah.
you, man, y'all said a lot in y'all intro today that resonated with me, and
Right.
one of the things was that reset button. When you going full force all the time, yo, every now and then you're gonna have to hit your own reset button.
Right.
Um, that's the biggest thing that I found out about this journey that we on in this grind. That you're gonna have to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter how many people you have around you.
Right.
Especially when you play a role as an entrepreneur, but a leader as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not easy. A lot of people understand that it is two different roles that you got to work simultaneous, and a lot of people can't handle that. So, yeah,
Right.
we in the building, and as far as the week is going, it's the same thing. Hustle. You gotta stay focused. Like every week is the same thing. Stay focused and stay free. So,
Bet. So where you from, Rob?
I'm
From
from
the
Jersey,
Bronx?
East Orange.
Jersey. Really?
East
Sound
Orange,
like New
boy.
York. Okay.
Yeah.
Close to Newark. That's
Yeah,
right
I'm
over
not
there
too
by
far
Newark,
from it. I
right?
was born in Philadelphia, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
word, dope.
Yeah,
I got a lot of family in Philly.
A word. What part?
Yeah. A lot of family in Philly. So yeah, that's
A
dope,
word.
y'all. Yeah, I'm from Jersey,
Yeah.
East Orange.
That's what's up, man.
So
Yeah.
so I know that area very well, and there's some rough sections in East Orange. There's some well-to-do middle-class people in East Orange. How early in life did you discover what it is that you wanted to do?
That's a good question. I would say, well, like my journey to get to where I am is like it was different because when I was probably about 12 or 13, I was doing what was considered to be called backup dancing for a lot of the rappers that was coming through. So the thing is that where I'm from, my city that I'm from, it's a lot of acts that made it nationally. So you have Queen Latifah, you have Naughty by Nature, you
Right.
have but then it was other people, right? So
Whitney?
you had Shaquille O'Neal, you had Whitney Houston. Well, the whole Houston family, to be honest. I think Whitney is the one that's the most famous, but the whole family is known for singing and the church scene in my city. The Burrell brothers, Reggie Burrell and them, so it's a lot. You know what I mean? Redman, of course, Lords of the Underground. It's
Right.
so many I could go. Tisha Campbell. It's like it's so
Mm.
many people from just my city alone that I've had an opportunity to live around, be around. And so my thing was I started off as a backup dancer for acts that used to come through the city. So like it'd be like Chub Rock, or it could be any of these guys that come through. They will sometimes they will want trap backup dancers when they come to the city. I had a crew and that's what we did. So I started off with that as far as like 12, like around 12 or 13. And at the same time doing gymnastics at the same time, because those was my passions at that point. Right. So I used to be part of a team, it's called Flip City out of Newark, New Jersey. It was one of the programs that helped underprivileged kids stay out of trouble by using their athletic ability, right? So that's what I used to do. I used to be on the flip team, so I used to travel around different places and just do my thing, my 1-2 on the mat. And the rapping thing didn't come until after one point where I was at a bus stop and then a guy heard me rapping another rapper's song. So we was just up there carrying radios around. For those of y'all that may not know, during that time we carried our radio with us everywhere we went. We would play music. I think it was a Coogee rap record. We was rapping it in a bus stop. Guy heard me. He was like, "Yo, you got a voice for the room. Would you rap?" No, I don't. I don't write rhymes. And then next thing you know, about 2 weeks after that, I was in the studio. And I rapped someone else's words. And at that particular point in time, I was in the hip hop group dancing. So that's how they found me, right? Or that's how I was able to get connected with them. And then from there, after that first studio session, I ain't looked back since. I ain't gonna tell you how old I am right now. I'm just gonna let y'all know. After that first studio session, it was a dub. That's all it was. I was like, yo, I gotta do this. But I never rapped another person's rhymes ever again.
Right.
So that's what it was. I was a terrible writer at first, but then as I started to figure out what my pen meant, then it worked out.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's good. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I know it was difficult. Like I know when I was coming up in the '80s, it was definitely difficult in the cities. Like how did you like skate by all that? Like I know you've seen the daily drug dealers and pimps and hoes. Like how did you know what I'm saying? Like how did you not fall in victim to that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, to be honest, y'all, you gotta. I mean, I'm a product of my environment in a certain way, right? My family
Okay.
is huge. I have one of the biggest families in East Orange. I'm not even bragging. I'm not trying. I'm not fronting. Like I do. Like you know what I mean. Like, uh, so I didn't escape everything. I just didn't get caught. I mean, I think what it is that it's a lot of things that people do, and I mean, I guess it's a part of your background, but then there's a certain personality that you got to have with that type of lifestyle. And one of them is you got to understand the difference between what it means to have what you need and then what you want to show people. I think you said that earlier, Tim, about you just don't show everybody all your diamonds, right? They may think you got diamonds and they could perceive that you may have, just don't show it to them, right? So that was the goal. So it's a lot of things that I didn't do because to me it was corny, but then there was things that I had to do, growing up in that environment. It's just that I just didn't get caught. So, sometimes you just got to be smart about what you're doing.
Right.
You know,
with y'all.
I love the fact that you, and because I did a little research too, all of the things that you're doing with the organizations and giving back, right? With all that you have on your plate, you still find time to reach back, and I think that is often missed, right? And I think that keeps us grounded because I do that. I was just at Shaw University 2 weeks ago doing a peer group because I'm writing a course and I wanted to get life from their perspective, from their lens. So I sat 6 of them down and talked to them and had a conversation and recorded it. So I applaud the work that you do with the youth because, man, if somebody doesn't do something positive, Manny, I see you doing it as well. Yes, see you holding workshops. That's a connection that we all have. We share that same passion. So, I was really impressed with the work that you do, brother.
I appreciate that, brother. Word up, because most people, that's not the part that they see, like, because the behind the scenes part is the part you don't glorify. It's the part where, like you said earlier, we don't watch TV. It's so often where it's like a new series will come out, and yes, you may say something
Mhm.
like, "Oh, I started watching this." I'd be like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna watch it, so don't even
Yeah,
start it."
that's a fact.
And then after so much time, if I'm not hustling, then I'm probably gonna fall asleep. But here's the thing, I'm just not wired for regular life, and I don't mean that as a sense of not being a regular person. I don't think there's nothing wrong for that. I'm just not wired for regular life, and I think the moment that you decide that it's all only about you is the moment where you're gonna find yourself just constantly chasing your tail. When you
Mm.
look out for other people and you put other people in position, even if they don't always reciprocate the same scenario, it always works out. I promise. I have never done nothing for a person and it hadn't come back to me. Maybe not from that person, no, of course,
Right.
but it
That's a
has come
law.
back. Yeah, it has come back.
Hmm. Right. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
So, Ra, earlier you mentioned when Tim asked you about how you started in your profession as a musician, because I know there's many layers to what you do. So, going back to the start of your musicianship,
Right.
um, at what point, like, what do you use to pull for the lyrics? Because I know you mentioned earlier you were not great, which is understandable. You know, everybody has a start. But at what point did you start to decide, like, you know, I want to perfect this? What do you pull from to get better, or what did you pull from to get better to where you are at today?
I would say, like in the beginning, you would try to follow a trend. You realize that the trend ain't your personality, so it's harder to like get into your bag really about who you are as a person. Because you gotta remember, I'm 12 and 13, but I had to at that age, I'm probably would be considered somewhere around 25. Growing up in Jersey is not a place where you are your age. You never act your age. You can't be your age. You got to be way more than whatever's perceived for you to be. So technically, to pull from things, it was like life was just going at a rate where it was very hard to try to do things that just wasn't real. Like it was hard to pull. Like imagination is great whenever
Mhm.
you are allowed to be a kid. A lot of our imagination has been cut off. That's why a lot of adults can't multitask because they stop using their
Mm.
imagination.
Right.
So
Okay.
for me, it was more so like, all right, I got into the bag of writing whatever I considered to be what environment based, but then I started looking around at what was really everybody really was dealing with, and it was always relationship. Like I really don't. It doesn't matter. Like whatever your life is, what you are dealing with most each and every person is a relationship, whether it's with your family, your parents, an opposite person, co-workers, whatever it is. It's a relationship based life that we live. We don't live on islands. We are affected by those that are around us, whether we pick the circle or we're born in it. And
Mhm.
I think that's what changed my life as far as what the pen did was I started to reflect on things that I actually was going through and found a way to make it rhyme. I guess, right?
Hmm.
'Cause, I mean, you could have some stories, but it ain't interesting.
Right.
So
Then
in
you
order,
drop the beat on it. Then you drop the
like,
beat on
then you got to make sense. Then you got to make sense. So you can't just
Right.
put words together. Nowadays, you can put words together and rhyme them,
right?
have a cool hook, and you can make something shake. But at that particular point in time, you got to realize that if you're going to have a song, it got to make sense. It was always
Mhm.
a beginning, middle, and end. It was a sandwich that you always created. Remember,
Right.
music used to have three verses. So it was things. They used to have an intro, outro. Sometimes they had a bridge. It was a songwriting ability that you had to figure out. It doesn't matter what your instrument was, whether it was rapping or singing, but you had to learn how to structure a song, and
Wow.
that it'll get you to. Well, for me, it made me realize that okay, I can't just be pulling stuff out of my ass. You know what I mean? I got to figure
Right.
out how to make this pen work, and that's what I did, and I've been doing it ever since. And now
It- it-
it's it's like
it's
right,
natural.
like breathing, right? Like
Yeah.
I could not be in the studio for a certain amount of time, and if I,
It just
if,
flows.
what? And I still listen to beats now. As much as I'm overactive in the content space, I'm still a student, right? I
Yeah.
still listen to new music. I still, you know what I mean? So it's just that thing. I don't think I'll ever stop doing music. I just had to change the way that I presented it to the world. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, you came through when there was some heavy hitters. LL Cool J was over there in New York hitting, Biggie Smalls and Tupac and them was coming, and they them,
Yeah,
them cats was they was treacherous with the pen.
And then my city, you gotta think about it. Redman is one of the greatest lyricists of all time. You gotta
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by people. Look at Tretch. I mean, think about what they used to call Tretch when Naughty by Nature first came out. Like these are the people I'm surrounded. Like you are not easily influenced by bubblegum where I'm from. The people that actually made it out of my city is the same household names that you hear right now.
Right.
It's not very. A lot of people can't say that. You could be from New York, but you might be from you might not be from a place where somebody came out of, but you can still represent because they came out of New York. Now, Jersey, you know how much we're shadowed behind New York?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
even now, like if a minute somebody meets me and I say something, they be like, "Oh, you from New York?" And I'd be like, "Oh, no, I'm from Jersey." They'd be like, "Oh." Like, what you mean? Oh.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh, okay, you ain't from there. All right, cool. Like, what do you mean? Like, everybody lives in Jersey, but
Right.
no, but technically, that's the step. Whenever you come from that particular place, you can say Philly, you can say Connecticut, you can say all these other places. You'll never get an O. But if you say New Jersey out opposite of New York, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like, all right, okay.
Oh yeah, he from Jersey.
Yeah, or they'll say something like, "Oh, I knew it was one of them." Like, what? Really?
but
Man,
but
that's what we doing. So
Right.
yeah, so it's that thing though.
and it speaks to your character. Let me tell you something. I know Jersey. Look, some of the worst days I've had on this planet was on South Orange Avenue, running up and down South Orange Avenue, smoking crack, right? And so, I used
Hold
to
on for a
ride a
second.
bicycle from
Hold, hold,
Bloomfield
hold, hold
through
on for a
East
second.
Orange to Newark to get a dime.
Yo, fam. Wow.
Yeah, and so what I was
And
getting
I
at is,
probably and you know what's so bad though, B? Like I'm sitting here thinking, like I probably was somebody on a bike that was there for you when you came through, and that's what makes this whole thing so really crazy right now. You
Full
know what I
circle.
mean? That you say that because
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to call out no type of streets.
Right.
South Orange Ave is one of those because even off of South Orange Ave, I'm just gonna be clear. Like South Orange Ave used to have a community pool, right? And all of us all over the city used to come to this place.
Brookdale.
I mean, you had to be careful going into Newark and stuff like that because that part of South Orange Ave was in Newark. But you said you was coming from Bloomfield. Yeah, you
I
came
used
to East
I used to
Orange.
live in Newark. Yeah, but yeah, man, I got
I'm just
shot.
gonna apologize to you now. My bad, bro. I had to find a different way of life at that time.
And look, but you know what though, man? I'm gonna tell you something. You know what I thought was the worst thing that could happen to me. Being addicted to drugs and alcohol has actually turned out to be the best thing because it knocked me so low that I had to find a new way to live. I just celebrated 20 years clean this week.
Congratulations.
20 years.
Congratulations, brother.
And so now it helped my life find a purpose. So you found yours early, man, and you didn't get caught up.
Right.
You said, "Hey, I'm not a squeaky clean," but you
Right.
didn't get because you know a lot. I'm sure you know a lot of people that did get caught up.
Listen, it's that was a lifestyle, right? Yes, that was your expectation.
Right.
Either it's only a couple places you were gonna go in life, and look, it didn't have nothing to do with the choices you made as far as like uh whether you were in the streets or not. You just being there, right?
Right.
Jersey was synonymous. It's so much like if you think about history in general, um, New Jersey. I mean, John Gotti to. I mean, it is not
Teflon Don.
gang
Yeah.
where I'm from, and I'm not even. And that's the thing. I'm not trying to big it up like other places are not, because we know Florida got it popping. All these other places have a rep. You know what I mean? But I'm
Right.
just saying, like, for Jersey to be the place that people say, "Oh," whenever you say that, it was one of the places where every like so the influence that people feel like on pop culture, it came from out of there. Like I'm just gonna be honest, the whole Italian movement, anything that you could kind of think of, it was in this small city, right? North too, but East Orange is like if people really do the history on East Orange, they would be pretty much shocked about how significant East Orange plays in history of what goes on in the Northeast. So
They had the. I think East Orange had one of the first black mayors, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah, there's a
we
lot of history there. A
a
lot of
lot
history.
of history in Jersey alone, but in that one particular section, it's crazy, y'all. For real, it's really crazy. Even to be honest, like to take it a step further, I was the last child to be born in East Orange General Hospital. So
Oh wow.
after the maternity ward was closed down while my mother was pregnant. She worked for the hospital, my grandmother and my aunt. It was only me and one other baby in the maternity ward whenever we was born. It was completely closed down from there. And in Eastern General, there's no babies born there after me. So
Wow.
even then, historically, I'm in the books,
Right.
That's
which is
right.
not something to I don't brag about it. I'm just telling you, like, as a part of history, whatever my trajectory is going in life, I know that I have a purpose to be here. And I think that's the
Right.
main
That's right.
motivation, Jesse, to answer your question about how I pull these things out. It's the purpose I feel.
Right.
That's beautiful. It's a raw. In addition to your music, you do a lot more. You do films. You have a clothing line. So tell us about how you transition, or should I say, brought in those other elements of what you do and correlated to the music. Like, what made you think one day to say, I want to start a clothing line, collective wear. I want to do film making. Walk us through that.
Well, the clothing line kind of came from the music, right? Having merchandise, you want to kind of always have something that can help you advertise, even when you don't. And so being a part of groups allowed me to be one of the guys that always looked at the people that came before me. Again, being from where I'm from, it was always marketing teams, street teams, everything everywhere. And the influence of how these people made it, it just stick with you when you see that it was people walking up and down the streets with signs for a person, or you go to New York and depending on we used to take the train there, the PATH train, or we would take the train there, and sometimes like where we would come out would be like where the Jacob Javits Center is or Madison Square Garden. So when you come off the train, you will see just
42nd
like
and Deuce.
people like if Little Kim. I mean, it don't matter. Like whatever the artist was, you would see their marketing and their street team.
Right.
And so that always stuck with me. Like, okay, bet. So if we're gonna do something, we gotta do this. The filming came because of wanting to be different with the music videos. So we would take songs and music videos instead of doing a regular video. I would turn them into a short film. And remember, at this time, I had a group, so the cast was there. And it's not hard to get women because like y'all said earlier, um, there are a lot of women. If it's a personal thing for you, that may not be depending on who you attract for you personally. But trust me, it's never short of them that want to be seen. That is true.
That is true.
You don't have to worry about that. You just gotta
They
have
will do
something
whatever it
to see.
takes to be seen.
Yeah, they're gonna come. So the cast was there, so
Mhm.
it just and then from there it would grow. Like I would do these music videos and they would be short films, they would be 7, 8 minutes long. And it changed the game as far as independency goes. Because the people who watched our videos got caught up, right? Because it was almost like they looking just for the song, and then it has a storyline, and it has this, and it just helps. And then after that, filmmaking became like my main passion way back in the day when I used to study directors, uh, like their style. Martin Scorsese was one of my biggest influences as far as directors go.
Okay.
Y'all hear my son in the background?
Mhm.
Y'all hear that? I'm
He's
sorry.
singing opera.
He in there wilding. So that's what he
He,
do.
he gets opera from his mother.
That's what he do. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I could yell at him right now, like RJ, relax. And he'll stand up, look at me, and he'll go right back to it. And about 10 minutes later, he trying to let me hear these bars, and I can't knock him. I mean,
It's
but
his bloodline. I mean,
but,
hey.
but, but the filming thing I really took seriously during COVID, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I was working with other cats doing skits. Yes, because as a friend of mine at that particular point in time, you was in a couple of skits for me.
Mhm. Was,
And the
yeah.
person I was working with, they didn't like the fact that they couldn't get those people to come work with them without me. And I think that was one of the things that set the catalyst up for me to understand what my purpose is. Because no matter what, I didn't do these things, y'all. I promise you. I just had to learn it. I
Right.
didn't know how to edit. I didn't know none of these things, right? But I had to do it. I had to learn it. And so that's where we are now. So as far as that, Yessie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's purpose for me. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think it's
I agree.
definitely like a thing that I woke up and it was like, yo, this, I'm just gonna try this now. Like, I'm not a try this person. You know what I mean? It's almost like I'm a hustler, right? So I can't just try stuff. I gotta put things in a perspective where it's like, I bet, yo, I gotta put this energy into this. So what am I gonna do? I'm a
Yeah.
middle
Right.
to a barbecue. So I'm a barbecue.
You mentioned something that was key, and you used this word independent, right? And I've heard so many of people from my culture, our culture, that uses this word. Well, I'm independent and I don't need nobody, and that's so flawed, such a flawed concept
Yeah.
because you can't live on this planet by yourself. If you were the
Right.
only person here, you would die. Really. And so you think about the mindset when somebody has a mindset of being independent, there's no room for them to grow, right? And so you discovered that with being a part of a group at an early age of how working together with people can produce so much more positive results. That's just amazing.
It is, but it's that thing though, bro. I don't believe in the whole yeah we were meant to be on the island thing. I just don't believe that you should allow other people to control your narrative though. So
Mm,
like when it comes down to being independent, I think it's more of a mindset than it is like whether it's just you physically, like a physical attribute. I think it's a mindset. Independency is more so like, okay, bet I'm not gonna wait for nobody to give me an opportunity. I'm gonna create it. I'm not very good at people who wait around for opportunity. Like I really don't even really try to keep people in my circle on that level. Like because I've had to do so much and like I'm just being honest. We're talking now, but the things that I've had to do to get to the place that I am now, it's a lot of sleepless nights, right? A lot of a doubt. I think that's the one thing that because being a man, we have to fight through a couple of things. We have to fight through ego first, right? Not so
Right.
much pride. We all need our pride because if you ain't proud of something, then you will do anything, right?
Right.
So
hello.
we
Ding
need
ding
our
ding.
we need our pride. We don't ever walk around as a man and not be prideful. Don't let people make y'all feel like being prideful is something wrong. It's your ego that got to be checked. It's the way you gotta humble yourself, and I think independency puts you in that space of saying, "Hey, I could depend on all these people," and then when these people walk away, does your dream walk away with them?
Right. Exactly.
So independency is a mindset for me, more so than a physical attribute.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate you sharing that because I look at independency like I can't. I just don't believe that I can be successful without other people, right? I like, Talk Man Talk came from Michael Jordan being Jump Man Jump. That's where I pulled Talk Man Talk from. And if you know his story, he came into the league, winning scoring titles, but he wasn't winning championships. And he said, well, he was smart enough. He said, well, who's winning championships and how are they doing it? And Magic Johnson was out in LA doing the no look pass Showtime, right? So, they added a couple players, Scotty and Horace, and Michael's point production went down. He started passing the ball like Michael, but they started winning championships. So interdependency is the
Mhm.
key. See, your
Mhm.
gift, right, was not meant for you. Your
Right,
gift was for me. My gift is for other people. Yes,
right,
his gift is for other people, right? And so what how I describe where you are is there's a difference. You have reached the level of deployment. See, when you work for somebody else and depend on a check, that's called employment. And employment means somebody else determines your value.
Right.
When you reach the level of deployment, you set your own rate.
facts,
Mhm.
facts. That's
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 true.
real. That's real.
That- That's a good point. Ross, so you also have a podcast, Sparking Conversation. So tell us about that. How did that, so with all that you do, why podcast? How did that come about?
Well, the podcast was something that I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's something that I really set out to do at first, right? I really wanted to produce podcasts because I wanted to focus on comedy, right? I wanted to
Mhm.
focus on creating a comedy platform for comics, right? I got five on it. That's a platform that I created for comics where I give five comics 5 minutes to come do their thing, and I tape them and I put small clips of them out to help market and promote them because comedy is really huge here. Well, it's huge all over the nation. Let's be real, but the fact that it's a lot of great comics who it takes them so long because they don't have a presence, right? They don't market and promote themselves because of their jokes. They got to hold their jokes down, right? They can't have their joke floating around like a song floating around because for them, it's like, yo, people already know the joke. It's not funny. It's not like your favorite song. Your favorite
Right.
song will always give you that feeling no matter what. So I recognize that. But then it made me think about this. Okay, so y'all are artists, so y'all can't be lazy. Like if you don't got if you're 5 minutes, you got to be working on 10 minutes.
Right.
So now you got two sets. Then you work on 15 minutes. So you got three sets. Like you got to do it like how we have to do it as musicians. And
Right.
so I wanted to focus on that. The podcast came because I wanted to produce a podcast. I was producing Oyendia at first.
Mhm.
I wanted to be in a different space for Yessie. So the podcast thing was more so of a thing that I was trying to help Yessie find a space to be able to, utilize her influence in the Latino community because it's huge here, right? And
Mhm.
and I saw that she was hosting all these events, these uh festivals, and just like a bunch of stuff, right? And then I was like, well, then damn, like hold on for a second, like they doing all this, but you still not getting what your value is because they're calling on you to do this, but then like your resume that come with it is not matching the way that they're actually carrying you. They're also like carrying her like, okay, we could get Yessie to do it, but then they're not looking at it from a standpoint of like, all right, so after she does the event, what's going on?
Right. Right.
Right.
Like then she builds up this thing and she keeps going doing movies and doing all these other things, and they book her again and people come out. So I'm just like, yo, let's relax for a second. Let's create this. And then the
Mhm.
podcast she was producing for a while. And then for some reason, I think they decided not to do it. And then so for me, I'm like, hold on, all right, so a podcast is needed. And then so I thought about sparking conversation. And I tried it one day. I tried it with her. I had her and a couple other my friends that was just there, and we all put it together. And I did it then, and I did it. Uh, I took about a 2 year break um, because tried to I tried to put it in a perspective where I think for me I was thinking too much, y'all, and I think that was one of my issues, right? One of my issues was I want everybody around me to be up, so I focused on trying to be there for the people around me that would do stuff for me but didn't charge me.
Right.
Right. So my appreciation level for people caused me to want to put people in position. And in that, I found myself having to technically still feel out I have to do it myself. So the
Mhm.
Spark the Conversation as a podcast came because of the necessity of one being needed. But then I think it's still another purpose driven thing for me because, like I said, I have a desire to be in the background. I just have to be in the front. So I think that's where the podcast, and I'm so thankful because I'm helping impacted families right now. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, you are.
you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know no other way that I felt so fulfilled about giving back by allowing a
Wow.
person to come tell a story for suffering such a major loss, right? So it's for me, like I said, it's so much purpose driven things in that. Yeah, I see that. Just giving you all a little bit of the history of how I even got to sparking conversation up until where it
Mhm.
is now. It's all purpose driven. I can honestly say that.
Right. I
You know
appreciate
how you
that.
can verify that? You use one word that lets us know that you are in your purpose. You know what that word is?
What was that?
Fulfilled. When you in your purpose, that's the result.
Facts.
That's a good point.
Fulfilled.
That's a good point.
That's a fact.
So, viewers, you just learned that if you don't already know, when you are in your purpose, you will
Right.
feel fulfilled. We
Definitely.
heard it from Ra one. We heard it from Tim. And so Ra, you just are overall just an amazing individual, very positive, uplifting. You have a lot going on, in a professional manner, and you're driven. Where do you get that drive from? I mean, I know you mentioned your purpose, but I know sometimes, I mean, I know if it happens for me, I don't know if it happens for you, Manny or Tim, but sometimes kind of like, ooh, I'm tired. Like, yikes. What
Right.
keeps you going? Like, what
Well,
what is that engine, that gas through your engine to say, hey, I got to keep doing this. Wake up each and every day to keep doing this.
it's my why, right? It's y'all, like, right? Because for me, looking at my son every day is just there's no way that
Come
I
on
can
now.
not push,
Right.
right? This is
That's
why I
right.
don't watch the TV series with you, and why I be at my computer whenever I get home up until it's time for us to go. Like these are the things because I have a why. Like it's
Mhm.
people behind me, and
Right.
I don't get the opportunity as a man. Like we never been taught certain things, and once you learn some things, you can't unknow it. And I think
Right.
Mm.
it becomes your responsibility at that point. I think God gives us grace for the things we don't know, but once we know something, I think He holds us accountable. Um, and I mean that in the sense of you just got to have a reason why you're doing what you're doing. If it's just for you, you're gonna slack because you give your own self what you feel like you think you need, right? Some people feel like, oh, I just need a break, and then you have a person like me that's like, yo, yeah, if I want to take a break for consecutive days, so if my break is only gonna come for a day, I got to keep working.
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person
Mhm.
that is walking around here in himself all the time. I gotta have the reason why I do everything, mainly for my two sons. I got two young boys. I have no room for lazy. I have no room for uh tomorrow. So what it means is that by that is that don't
Wow.
put off what you can do today for tomorrow,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So that's my reason. My drive is not me. It's not fame. It's not money. It's not uh to be liked. I think my purpose is my children. You know what I mean? Like I don't have they count on me no matter what. Like my
Mhm.
my mini me when I come home, he don't give a damn about what's in my pocket. He don't even care about what's on TV if it ain't Rachel. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know what I think Rachel an alien and only kids can see her. But no, my son, he
Miss Rachel.
she could get him to do stuff that I can't. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to meet her in person. I don't know what's going on. She got something going on, but that's the thing. Like they don't care,
Yeah.
and so I have to be a person that doesn't care about self.
Right.
Yeah.
Not in that way. I care about myself, but
Mhm.
what I'm saying is that I can't allow that to be the reason why I procrastinate.
Right.
And that's one of the benefits of family. And that was the original intent, for family was to give that man that motivation and that courage. I mean, in those hard days, let me tell you something. And I tell people this. I went through a divorce, but some of the most productive days and years of my life was when I was married. That's facts. That's just the truth. And so, I have developed a discipline and a work ethic. I had that because I grew up on a 500-acre farm, and then I chased crack for 20 years. And it take a hell of a work ethic to feed a crack habit.
Listen, you the definition of no days off. The
Moses.
crackheads that you was in
Yeah.
Jersey, those
Yeah.
crackheads, those be the ones that
Yeah.
you be coming outside and they be washing the bus. Like
Yeah.
the bus driver not giving you nothing, they don't give a damn. That's how much energy they got because they about to take in
Yeah.
the store. So yeah,
And so, yeah, and so, I commend, all that you guys have going on, and with the family structure, and keeping it in everything in its right perspective, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes that can be the hardest thing, right? Keeping things. You're both really, really gifted, right? Very talented, man.
Thank
I'm
you.
honored just to know you guys for real. Um, uh,
Thank you.
but to be able to keep everything in. You said something, you don't do it for the money. I tell people that all the time. If you out here doing what you do for money, you will fail.
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
That's a lot of people's um, focus these days. Like the younger generation, like they feel like this is a get rich quick scheme. But like you said earlier, like they don't see what goes on behind the scenes, man. And
Right.
like a lot of these young kids haven't gone through a lot of the things that we've gone through. Like this panel right here, like we've had a rough life, and look at where we at now. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, it's amazing what positive thinking and determination will do. Like it's
Mhm.
just amazing. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, just being a man, and trying to provide for your family, like that in itself is a tough thing to do because you're always doubting yourself,
Mhm.
and you might, oh, what if this isn't good? You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
still put it out there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if you
Yeah.
continue to keep those negative vibes, it's always going to be negative. But like just consistently pushing forward, that's always going to be positive. Like
Facts.
I
No,
just,
you're right. You know,
yeah,
you hit the nail on the head with that one, man.
uh, the energy is just awesome right now.
So, Ra, with your growth in life, where you first started, when you started your career in music, and then growing into the film aspect, the comedy shows, the podcast, the clothing lines, the group, all the other things that you didn't share with us today, which I'm sure we'll have a part two. So let me just put that out there.
Of course,
But
definitely.
with that in mind, for the individual that is doubting themselves,
Hmm.
what words of encouragement would you give them? Because a lot of people are easy to give up if they don't see that turnover right away, so to speak. But you have been dedicated, and like you always say, consistency. That's one word that I know that you always tell me is being consistent. You've been consistent since very, very young. And now you're older, you're successful, but you remain consistent. So
Right.
what words of encouragement or motivation would you tell that individual who thinks that, hey, I'm going to start today and I'll be successful tomorrow, but then reality check hits in and says, no, that's not how it goes.
Yeah.
How would you motivate that person?
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, I think my first thing would be to if I'm talking to a male, now this is be two different perspectives, right?
Okay.
If
Okay.
I'm talking to a male, I would tell them to expect it. Like, expect that doubt. Expect to doubt yourself. Expect to, for things to not go the way that you think it should. Be
Hmm.
okay with change, and don't be the person that feels like everyone owes you something, right?
Hmm.
And that's from the male perspective. Now, if it was a female I was talking to, my number one thing for her would be consistency, right? Because she cannot be a person that it wants to be a dependent and then be independent. We have
Right.
the difference between women who are more of a liability than an asset. So we
Right.
got to make sure that talking to the woman is like, yo, if you have a passion for something, I'm gonna be honest with you. Your consistency is going to change your life more so than the people that's going to come and try to offer something to you, whether they could get something from you. So
Hmm.
a woman is attractive. Like I tell Yessie all the time, because see, one thing about me is that I'm not the follower. Like I don't follow her around. I don't check on things. I'm not that guy. Like, and I would say that to any woman. Like, if you're gonna be with me, be understanding that it's gonna be a level of confidence there that you may have to just deal with because I'm not the guy that's gonna check for you in that way, right? Because my responsibility level doesn't allow me to do that. And unfortunately and fortunately at the same time, it's way more people that count on me. Like I could honestly be here and say, yo, listen, y'all, like I got my family structure, but yo, the amount of people around me that I help, the amount of people around me that lives have been changed by saying they never did something or they didn't know that they could do something and then they doing it now. Um, the energy that comes from that, I would tell a person that wants to get in this business or anything that they want to do, um, expect the doubt. As a matter
Hmm.
of fact, go ahead and invite it on in. Because if you know that you're gonna have it, then you know what to check. Like it's like you don't have to guess.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm gonna put this skit out. Like when I put skits out, to me, I laugh at myself But that's not saying that everybody's going to get my joke. But I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm about to put this out.
Right,
Now,
right.
if they get 10 views, and I'll be sitting up here saying, like, Dad, this was the one. What? Y'all ain't like this? Then I put some other joint out that I don't know if I want to put it out, but I'm going to put it out as content, and then it goes. So it's like, I bet. Get your head out the game. So the doubt is going to come expected. Just be real enough with yourself to understand that it's not real. That part is the illusion. The doubt is the illusion, and that's what will help you. Like, you need a dose of reality every now and then, and sometimes reality is going to come from you. Like, you got to be the person that honestly says to yourself, like, "Yo, yeah, listen, I don't believe in myself today, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it anyway."
Right.
That's right. That's
Like,
awesome. I love it.
I woke up today, like last night it was an argument, or last night it was this. I didn't feel this today.
Right.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Now the gym. Let me put this in here real quick. The way you dedicate yourself to health is the way that the people around you is going to really get to understand who you are as a person.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't think. I think the way that you are focused and the way that you feel like, because it takes a certain level of discipline to go to the gym. You can have the motivation for why you want to go, but it takes that discipline to go. You're gonna have to go when you
100%.
feel like it. You're gonna have to go even when it rain outside. You're gonna have to go no matter what. You could skip some days, you could do these things, but as men, like physical and the way that we are active, we cannot allow that to fall to the wayside. So for the people around you, I say this to the men and for women that are dealing with certain men like us, like to want to know whether you got a good person in your life or not, see how they feel about their health. It's one of the most underrated things that people don't take as a means to understanding what a person's dedication is. They underlook that. Now they don't even overlook it. They underlook that.
Right.
Right? Because they think that you do it based on a set of vanity, but they don't understand that it takes a mindset to be consistent.
Right.
And putting yourself through pain purposely to be consistent, that shows a
That's it.
level of who you are as a person. But I don't think that that's something that people pay attention to because it's not flashing like Vegas lights.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Manny and Tim, I'll be right back. I'm gonna have y'all hold the fort with Ra. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
man, one of the things that I deal with, Ra, is I'm working on this second book and this course, and like there's not enough hours in a day,
No.
man. You know
No.
what I mean? Like I work a job. I work a full-time job, and I there's times when I want to, like I walk. So I'll be 60 in July. So I don't do a lot in the gym like I used to. How do you tell yourself, look, I have got to put this on hold right now, right? I've got to get to the gym. How do you,
Yeah.
because you have so much. You have family, you have, how do you do that?
See, a lot of people. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What's that?
Well, to me, a lot of people feel like they have to at least do 2 hours or an hour in the gym. Like if you get a consistent 45 minutes of some good workout, you're good for the day. You know what I'm saying? And if you go every other day and don't do 2 days out of the week and try to make it up on the weekend, like you're good. Like I go to Planet Fitness and they have like this 30-minute workout interval thing. And as long as you stay consistent with that, bro, like I've lifted heavy weight and then feel what I felt doing that 30-minute workout.
Facts.
And it's a 30-minute whole body workout.
Facts. It don't take a lot. That's the thing. It's like people think that lifestyle come with time, and it don't. Like you gotta at least, you can get in there about 45 minutes to an hour. I do an hour. You get in there for about an hour and you get out the way. And the reason why I say that is because if you could work for somebody, if that's your job and that's how you pay bills, and you're dedicated to the way a person is going to give you something, how you not going to put that same energy into yourself? Like it just don't make sense. Like I think our jobs are our investors when you are a person that has a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, then your job is for your bills. Then you probably are not going to find time. Because like even with you, like creating your courses and stuff like that, there's always funnels that you could set up. Right, because I set up a funnel right now for my ebook. Right, we got an ebook out about business credit versus personal credit. Right,
Okay.
to try to teach people the difference between how you can get and utilize other people's money, the OPM, versus you sitting up here saying to yourself, I can't do nothing based on your own pocket. Right. But that's the same thing that happens with everything else. I have a funnel, so I'm not on stuff all day. They click that link come a couple of days later, another link come and it comes and they just keep rolling. When it come down to me putting down courses and stuff like that, marketing and promotion, StreamYard has this thing now where it allows you to do webinars. So now it's a scheduled thing. It doesn't take that what it took before. What happens is, we have to always put ourselves in a position to really focus in on ourselves. I know that's hard to do, but whatever you're doing is for somebody else. I think once we get to a certain place, there's no more I'm doing this for me. You're doing it for somebody else. Like Tim, like you mentioned your age, and with your age, what comes with at that particular point, when I get to that age, I want to be at a place where it's like this. Um, I want to be that one, I want to be that person that appreciates freedom. Right? I want to appreciate freedom more than I appreciate anything else in the world, more than materialism, more than whatever notoriety that may come from the things that I've been doing, because my platform is more based on help and not more so look at me. So
Right.
it's still a thing where it's like a self-sacrificing thing, but I can't lose myself in that. Even with being in a relationship, y'all said something earlier. I think, Manny, you were talking in regards to why you're not in a relationship because of the way that people don't understand what goes behind your drive. But what they don't understand is purpose, more so than they don't understand the time that you may not have. They don't understand purpose.
Right.
People don't understand what that means, and
Right.
it's sometimes, unfortunately, it's not up to you to try to teach them that.
Right.
Right? Some people grow up with parents that are still alive, but they're not in their life.
Right.
So
Right.
you gotta be that same. You gotta look at it from that lens, right? Everybody don't have that structure, but if they on the same level as you, that means they did something the same thing you did. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
about what they had, right?
Right.
So that's the motivation to keep going, bro. That's what takes me to say, all right, I'm going to the gym today. This is why I'm going.
Right.
Right? It doesn't matter about everything else. It don't matter about the money. It don't matter. Listen, I'm go. And even sometimes, like when it comes to your children and stuff, you got to tell them, man, yo, hold on, relax. Y'all gonna have your own life at some point,
Right.
right? So my job is to raise you. My job is not to play with you. You know what I mean? So I gotta still be there for you. So that takes me having to be there for myself. Same thing in your relationship. Like there's no way that and I've been divorced too. I've been married, I've been divorced. It was a lot younger, but I have been through that. And I didn't have the most productive life when I was married. As a matter of fact, I was more held back being married, right? Because the stipulation comes with that.
Right.
And that ultimately caused us not to be together. I didn't make the decision not to. I'm gonna be honest, but the decision came based on the life. Like, yo, I'm not
Mhm.
about to do that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. There's no need to argue with me. I'm not. I'm going to do this.
Right.
You
Right.
met me when I was doing it,
Yeah.
right?
Man.
And that's the same thing. And so even with Yessie, like, it's not easy because you got to think about it. In a relationship base, when two people are up front, then who's there for them?
Right.
Mm.
Right? Everybody needs somebody in the background
Right.
because I have to be that for her.
Mm-hmm.
She don't have to be that for me. You know what I mean? Because we have a kid. So it's like I have to be selfless enough to say I still have to be there for y'all, even if y'all can't do it for me like I need to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
not an
I
easy decision to make. That's why it's one of them things where it's like, yo, I gotta go. Like I tell you, like whenever it come up, yo, this is what I gotta do. I'm going to do it.
Right.
Mhm.
Not in a disrespectful way. It's more of a communicative way to say, hey, listen, yeah, I'm not about to watch the series with you. Not because I don't want to spend time with you, it's because you are a responsibility for me. So I can't engross in that.
yeah.
But I don't think that you should. Go ahead and get it. Go check it out. Pay attention. Do your learning. get, because she's an actor. She got,
Right. She
stay in the
studies
boat.
it.
Yeah, stay in the
I
boat.
do. Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm not walking around like, yo, I'm doing this and you ain't doing that. I don't got time for that. Like, listen, you're gonna be mad at me anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no
Man,
need for me to be checking for you. You're gonna be mad at me anyway because I'm gonna have to bounce. I gotta go get it.
Right.
So there's no need for me to be that person that is not gonna be real and not be cooperative at the same time. I gotta be cooperative. So
yeah. That's some
cooperate.
good stuff.
You said something earlier, man. You was like, yo, sometimes you gotta set up the date. I can't set it up. And that's how our dynamic is. I can't set it up. Not because I don't want to, it's because look around. You
Right.
set it up. Let me know what the date time. I always make myself available for her.
Exactly.
Right? Even though she's part of my responsibility, I still make the effort to give her that time. Now, I
Right.
don't know if she really understands sometimes what that entails, but I do know that she appreciates it.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me
That's a
always
team.
available
That's
for
a
her.
team.
Yeah, I'll be available for her. I will make sure that, I can't do it all the time, but I'm going to do it.
Right. Right.
Man, you dropped some gems, man, and I really appreciate it. And I'll get honest, gut level honest with you. Sometimes, because I wasted so many years, running in the streets. It's like I feel like I'm trying to make up time. I had the same mind, but I was using it in a very destructive way. And, I want to get as much accomplished because life does not owe me nothing, right?
Right.
It doesn't. But and I was sharing this with Yessie when we first talked about the show. What motivates me is if I can take my pain, my loss, and use my experience to help another younger person or older person
Right.
avoid the pitfalls that I did, then it makes everything that I lost, all the pain, worth it for
Well,
me.
yeah, well, I could say this about you. I don't know you, right, personally, but I could say this about those things. A lot of people who make it past addiction, and this is no slight to you, but that was your purpose. Because I believe that if you didn't have
Mhm.
that addiction, you might not have been here. So you may have been a sober person in the wrong space
Right.
Mm,
Exactly.
and
That's
not been here. A lot of times, the things that happen to
wow,
us
that's
are
deep.
things that we have to change the way that we view them. Everything that looks bad is not always bad for you. A lot of
Right.
things are meant for good. It's just that we have this self internalizing thing that we convict ourselves, right? We look
Mhm.
at the things that we did in life and we'll say, "Hey, man, you know what? I was a terrible person." And rightfully so, you may have been in some shape, form, or fashion. But the point is that your life, the way that you made it and you made it, it was the way that it was supposed to go. I
right.
don't think that me personally, um, I've been on the biggest stages, I've been on the tours, I've hosted. If anybody right now can Google me right now, and you'll see I've done so many things that it doesn't really necessarily see like I will be at this particular level because I completely fell off before. And I think for you having an addiction and then getting to where you go, I'm not saying that something is worse or not, but just imagine being at the height of something and then losing it,
Right. Right.
right?
A lot of people
Imagine
don't come
being
back
on
from that.
tour with some of the
Right.
biggest names or hosting some of the biggest names and having communication and having these people in your phone to only fall to the point where you have to go back and get back in the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
You know how humiliating, you know how much pride and ego, you know how bad that feeling is to know that people like you go to a job and you wind up seeing people that know that you were successful and then they see you in a hallway and they say things like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? I just saw you on wait, what didn't I see you last month? You was just on TV doing boxing. Like you was just why and that feeling,
Right. Right. Like you want to crawl into a little box.
ooh,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
And so I would say this to you, bro, and I mean I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not saying that you didn't go through the worst with that addiction, and I'm not saying that the feeling that you may feel now is not a bad one. But I promise you, being up and down and then trying to get yourself back up again. Yo, son, you know how they say that sometimes people be so far down that they got to look up then look down? Have you ever heard of that saying
Oh
before?
yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that was me, literally. Right? My child was taken away from me. Not literally, but the relationship between me and his mom. All these things were at the same time.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? A complete loss. Car got repoed. About to lose my crib. All of these things after just coming off tour
Wow.
2 months ago. Right? And so we gotta realize, like, the peaks and valleys that people speak of, they're not prepared for that freaking valley, yo. Word is born. Like, if you come from the valley, you don't want to go back. Go back and see. I bet you now, as you recover, I guarantee you go back to a crack house right now. I bet you turn their ass right around.
Right.
Man,
Exactly.
yo, man, you probably wouldn't even want to walk past the trap house right now. But I guarantee you, the person that's in there right now, oh my God, they have no business in there. Because I saw people who were on crack, from my family to everybody else. It's no such. It shouldn't be no new crackheads. Like, first of all, crack shouldn't even be a drug that people still rap about.
Right.
Who's taking the drug? All the older people are dead now. Like, who's using what 20-year-old said I'm gonna try crack? Like, are you serious? Like, there's a lot of things that people could try that there's no examples of what that's going to be like once you try it. That's look at all the people who took the vaccine. But damn, you can tell me you got plenty of everything you need, 20, 30 plus years of crack epidemic, and you saying to me like you gonna try this tomorrow?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened with me. There was no examples when I started.
Exactly. You just did what the culture did. They got high.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? All the people that grew up in the 70s, like my mom and all of them that grew up in the 60s and 70s, that was hippie time. They was getting high. I was babysitting at 10 years old. They partying.
Right.
So that's why I told y'all, me being 12 and 13, starting in the game, at my maturity level, I was 25, yo, in
Right.
life.
Yeah.
So, I don't get the opportunity to sulk about things that happen to me bad. Like, I can't do that. I can't be that guy. I can't be that guy that will get that. Like, I got to be the person that says, okay, so I came off the road. I had to do this. Okay, now what happened? And then now I got now I got RJ. Now, had I not been, I possibly wouldn't have RJ.
Right.
Right? And this kid is the biggest motivation in my life right now.
That's what's up.
Right? So if I didn't fall off, I wouldn't have him.
Right.
Wow. Deep.
So all things that happen to you that look bad, it be meant for your good. It's the mindset. How do you look at it? I tell Yessie all the time, like, listen, these people don't invite you nowhere. Be thankful. Because people invite me places and I say no. I'm still thankful. Right? But it's gonna come in that way. Like, yo, it's things gonna happen to you. You're gonna be like, damn, yo, I can't believe this happened to me. Then you turn around and like, boom, now I'm sitting in here. I fell completely off. I've had, like, I don't know how many cars since then. I have a house. I have everything from falling off. Now, had I allowed my fall off to dictate who I was gonna be, bro, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of y'all. Yes, he wouldn't need a guy like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that in the sense of just being her partner. I'm talking about I do other stuff behind the scenes when it comes to her. You know what I mean? Not just being there for her partner. Like, I'm a little bit of everything. Counselor, I'm the person that fight. I get on the phone. She'll call. One thing about Yessie, I don't care who it is. She gonna call the president. She'll get to him.
It's a true story, actually.
And then I get on the phone and I close the deal. She ain't gonna close it. She'll get to you, but she gonna get into her Puerto Rican bag. Then I gotta come in and I gotta close the deal, right? But that's part of it, right? Understanding who you have around you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why with her, I kind of make sure that she understands, like, these are the people that I have at this level. Be okay with that, right? These people are in this circle, not in our circle.
Right.
So be okay with that, and then be okay with understanding the difference between what I said, that this is my personal. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, that's it. Everything that look bad sometimes be meant for your good. No, all the time it be meant for your good, and then sometimes it's bad because it's your fault. So shit.
Oh yeah. I take full responsibility. You know,
Right.
and that's when I really got clean, Ra, is when I went to treatment 12 times, right? And I really got clean when I said, you know what? I stopped the blame game. It wasn't nobody else's fault but me. And if I was ever going to change, it was going to have to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Right.
right. Look, people say you should never say you ain't gonna use. I'm not smoking no more crack, no more. Period.
And you could say that, bro. Don't let people tell you what not. Look, what we put in the atmosphere. You know, I don't know if y'all really.
Manifest.
That's a bank. That's a bank deposit transaction. You put it in the atmosphere, it's gonna give you what you put out there. That's why I don't like to talk with negativity. Like, oh, I can't. I'm not. No, 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 no. You will and you are. That's it.
Hello. That's
That's
good
right.
stuff, man.
That's it. No, I'm not. You know, that's it. Like, you starting a clothing line. Like, I started a clothing line so I could wear my own. I'm not starting a clothing line because I want to be the next Sean John.
Right.
But come on, if y'all gonna give me that type, like, come through. Look, the website is up. Come put I ain't gonna hold you. But
Man,
like,
it's
something
something
about
when
being
you wear your
self-aware.
own gear.
Yeah,
Right.
it's something about being self-aware. It's something about being like believing in yourself, man. They
You know,
make us as black men, well, men in general. They make us feel like it's something wrong with believing in ourselves, yo. They feel like we supposed to put everybody around us but us.
Right.
Like, why can't we believe in ourselves? Like, I have blind faith in myself. I'm not
you know,
gonna
my
lie to
mentor,
y'all.
my mentor says, people get wealthy off of trying to be other people. People wear other people because they don't know
Right.
who they are.
Ooh,
Sean John that's people. Jordan's is another person. I wear me. You wear you.
facts, facts,
Right. Right.
facts. That's the mindset, right? So everything is a mindset, y'all. I think that's the main thing I want to give as a takeaway to the audience that's watching and
Yeah,
for those
that's
that's
good
going to
stuff.
continue to watch our platform, right? Yeah, mindset, y'all. It's the way you look at things.
Right.
Don't take advice about relationship for people who relationship is not good. I don't care how long they've been in it. They are people who showing you how to settle.
Right. Exactly.
Don't make decisions based on what other people think. Don't rush into things because people think that it's a certain time frame. Time is an illusion. We deal with time because of work. If we didn't have a job, what time are we going to deal with? If I get being an entrepreneur, you don't have no schedule.
Good
What are
point.
you talking about?
At all.
Good point. Good
The only
point.
time time matters is for people that got a job.
Right.
That's why a job is called 9 to 5 because they control our time with money, your worth. That's what you said earlier, Tim. They are the people who control you based on time, and they know your bills are important. But you got to be more important than your bills, yo.
Mm, absolutely.
I agree.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes. Rob, we definitely have to have a part two. Like
Yeah.
this is deep. This is so dope.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
I don't know, y'all. Yeah, I don't know because you know how it go, y'all. Yeah, you could give as much as yourself, right, as possible. I definitely will come on whenever y'all want. It's no problem. But I want to be clear, based on the fact that we have platforms. I want people to really respect your platform. You get what I'm saying? I don't want people to do that whole it's because of Ra. I don't want that. That's
Right.
why I notice I'm in the background. I share your stuff. I make sure everything is floating, but I do understand the type of influence I have, right? I do understand that. So I want to make sure that whatever y'all need, if I could help, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like even with you, Tim, like you gotta get that funnel going. StreamYard will allow you to get that get that. You said you was doing a course, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the course.
Yeah. StreamYard has it now where you could do webinars, and I
Wow.
think they have up to I want to say it may be 200 people.
Wow. Wow.
Think about that.
Because my target audience is colleges and universities, more specifically HBCUs.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
And helping create some healthy habits, right?
Gotcha.
So you're going to check on little man.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna go grab him real quick because he in that mode. But no, it's cool. Let me go grab him real quick. I'll be right back.
Mhm.
Yeah, but to piggyback on what Rob was saying, the good thing is that all the four of us here, together, we all have our own influence in a positive way, of course, with the different people that we interact, we follow, etc. So bringing different parties together, the interviews that we do each week,
Right.
it's a good way to have an extra spread to different areas, different people, different communities, because we don't know who knows the other person.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate the deep conversations that we've had and all the people that we bring on. I mean, kudos to the viewers for supporting us, for being there and sharing, commenting. You know, it's very interactive, and we really appreciate that. And anytime, if you have any comments or if you have questions, feel free to write to us. You know, Manny is very interactive with the chat, so shout out to Manny. You're doing a great job with that. And Tim, you know, his personality and what he does and shares. So we all are unique and amazing in what we do. So definitely.
Yes, I wanted to say this. I know we do the show live, but I think, just listening to what was shared tonight. I mean, Rod dropped some wisdom
He did.
nuggets tonight, and I think we should run it like more often. Even though we shot it live tonight, people need to hear this, man.
Okay, so what you're suggesting is like repeating the same show? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, I'm saying, like, if we shoot it, it's live tonight, Thursday. Let's run it again Sunday.
Okay, I like that. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Okay.
It's all marketing. It's called marketing.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because I know for me, for my show, I edit the clips down. I use an AI program.
Yeah.
Try to chop it down, and then I tighten it up in order to keep it going from week to week. That way, it stays where it needs to be, right? As far as marketing and promotion. That's one of the biggest things about having a platform. Like, you got to promote it. Like, that's the part that people don't see. It's that behind the scenes thing. Because after the show, I'm editing.
Yeah.
Right. And throughout the week, I'm editing.
Yeah.
It's not just, put the microphone and some headphones on. Let's just get busy.
And that's all I want to do. Give me a microphone.
Look, at some point, I'm going to have the team. I tell Yessie all the time, at some point, we got to have the behind the scenes people that do that. Because right now, I do it. I like it. I don't love it.
Gotcha.
And you know what? I will say this. With Ra and I, because the relationship that we have, I love it, is beautiful. But you know what? The foundation is friendship. We started off as friends.
All right.
Yeah. You hit the mute.
You mute. Yes, you mute.
We can't. There you go.
It has to do some updates for some reason. But we start off as friends, and we understood that we respect each other first. We have integrity, respect. We communicate. We don't yell. We don't scream. You know, we talk because we're two adults. There's no need to yell and scream. And so I'm sharing this to that person watching to say, hey, how can I better my relationship with my significant other? Or if you are seeking a relationship with a significant other, understand, like Ra was saying, you each are going to have a purpose. And it's about making sure that you respect, you communicate effectively, have integrity.
Right.
And you still continue to be devoted to each other and understand that at the end of the day, this is you. You and the other person are this, while you spread out sometimes to go out to do things respectfully for your purpose, but you're coming back home.
Right. Exactly.
You treat the other person the way you want to be treated. You want to be treated with respect and love, then you do the same thing.
Facts.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Facts. That's important. That's very important. To try to make sure that you would, treat people the way you want to be treated, but also be able to, stand on your word, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be a person that can't be counted on. Like, count on make sure that you can count on yourself, yo.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Make sure that you do that, because if you could count on yourself, then other people could count on you. So I believe that this was a great episode, man. I'm definitely appreciative for y'all allowing me to come on and even talk from this perspective, because on my platform, it's about other people, not about me. So I don't get a chance to talk or tell people like what that hustle is like, And then it's a perception with me online, because all I do is share the hustle. I don't put personal business up there. I don't put relationship business up there. I don't put my kids up there. I don't, because that's not what it's for me. That's the easiest way for for people to get into your shit because you're giving it to them.
Right.
Like, no, that's not what social media is for. And I wish that people would get out of paying attention to other people's business on social media and comparing it to themselves. Because see, that's where the failure comes in for relationships, right? It's when people start to do the compare thing. I think the good thing about Yessie that she respects, I'm glad that she does that because she just have to be mad. But I'm
You say
always,
rap?
you just will have to be mad. But I'm definitely going to market and promote this business. Our
Right.
personal life
Yeah.
is our personal life. Like I'm
Right.
not doing that. I can care less about what people think. I'm not doing that.
Right.
This is what this is about. We talk about generational wealth. I want my
Mhm.
child to be able to understand, like, yo, when he see these things 10, 20, the things I'm doing now, you know what's so dope about us right now that are on this thing? Think about this, y'all. You know what I mean? Um, my parents in their generation, if I don't have, because they didn't have cell phones and stuff back then, if I don't have like an actual picture, like my dad has been passed for a really long time now. The only way I can really look at him is in a picture.
Right.
Wow.
And I hate that, right? Because then there's people who have video of their parents. They got their voice. They can actually hear their voice. I have to purposely really put my dad's voice in my head to remember how he sounded, right?
Wow.
But us, we won't have that issue now, right? Our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, as long as they have an internet, they're gonna have us.
Right.
Right.
Amazing, yo.
Yeah, it is, man. I never looked at it like that
Well,
before.
that's amazing. Like it's like even this one right here. He's sitting here right now. In 30 years from now, his dad will be right there with him, even if I'm not.
Right.
He don't have to go around and be like, yo, I wonder what my dad was like. He'll pull up those records, he pull up the videos, he'll pull up the concepts, he'll pull up interviews like this,
Right.
right? We didn't have that opportunity for us growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
This
we
vision
have
is powerful. That's when Yessie told me about the show, I was like, yes, because I could see the vision, and it's a great platform, to have the diversity, right,
Mhm.
and the
Right.
audience. Like, man, I'm telling you, every show it just seems to get better and better and better.
Right.
y'all gonna get it. Y'all going, y'all.
Oh, and a little nugget. I'm working on, you know how they have AI. I'm using AI for the good. So I'm going to dub the show in Spanish. So I'm working on dubbing the show to
Wow.
don't be surprised if Manny and Tam, you're going to hear yourself in Spanish. Don't be surprised. Because I'm trying to be versatile, and I'm trying to see if I can get it to different languages, but I want to come across people that speak those languages authentically to make sure that what this AI is computing is actually making
Right.
sense. But because I speak Spanish as a native language, I'm
Right.
able to determine that. So just a heads up for the viewers que hablan español, el episodio va a estar en español completamente pronto. Stay tuned.
That's what's up.
But yes, so this was an amazing show, and Rob, we're definitely going to have you on for a part 2. We are going to start closing. I know, it's sad. Time to say goodbye. But Ra, any last minute words that you want to share with the audience? Also, share how they can find you, what you have next, because you have a lot of things going on. So talk to us.
Okay, back. So last minute words I would like to say to the audience is believe in yourself, right? Don't be afraid to be unapologetic for how you feel about you. I don't I think it's called self-esteem.
Mhm.
So remember, everything about you is about you. So don't be too much into worrying about whether you're gonna be perfect or not. Just worry about just not being lame. Uh, Look, you just don't be corny. I think that's the main thing I want to tell people. Don't be corny, y'all. Don't be the person who is, waiting on things but not willing to give it. So that would be something that I would say to the people. Stay focused, and you know what I'm saying, and don't be afraid to have faith. We didn't talk about religion and all that other stuff, but I just want to make sure that people don't be afraid to have faith. As far as finding me, it's a little bit easy. You guys can either like hashtag Rah-1, RAH and the number one in any of the platforms, major platforms. You could do. Sorry, y'all, that's my son. He's touching my podcast, and I have like sound effects.
That was the perfect timing, though.
That was perfect.
You knew, like, what to.
Yeah, and the buttons are flashing, so he's really. It's hard for him not to. But yeah. So
He's
just
learning already.
use the hashtag Rah-1 RAH and the number one on any of your major platforms, and you'll pretty much find me. What's next? Well, a comedy short film, horror film is coming this summer. So be prepared for that. We're going into full length films, independent, coming up by the end of the year. I'm looking at somewhere at the top of fall. I'll be shooting full length projects. Um, I have plenty of music out. And relax, yo. Word is born. Relax. And so we have that, and then we have, of course, we have new pieces from the clothing line that's dropping. And yeah, just staying focused. So yeah, y'all just stay connected with me, and y'all will pretty much see everything that's going on. It's real.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Well, man, I have really enjoyed. This is my first time, meeting you and getting to hear you speak and um, I you know I kind of um, applaud the man that you are, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about the level of maturity and the wisdom, right?
Mhm.
That I've heard tonight, and you know that's what gave me the mindset that we need to run this more often because people need to hear what you share tonight,
Right.
right?
Thanks. Appreciate
And
that.
yeah, and so I really appreciate it. I'm certainly gonna reach out to you and see what kind of collaborations or some assistance, maybe some training that I may need. So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
thank you, brother.
definitely. Yeah, definitely, man. Anytime, man. If anything I could do to help y'all, or I'm saying, just let me know, man. And I got you.
Absolutely. We appreciate that. Tim, so tell us any last minute words and how people can find you and what you have going on next.
Well, you can find me. You can Google me, Talk Man Talk, no spaces, and I'm on pretty much all of the major platforms. I just I piggyback off of what Ross said. You know, really you know, being yourself, your authentic self, right?
Mhm.
And discovering your purpose. That's what I coach. That's what my whole program is about. Free yourself from yourself is the title of my first book, and discover your purpose, right? Because without purpose, you have no vision, you
Right.
have no direction, right? And so um, what I have coming up is nothing coming up, on the horizon. I'm just really focused on getting this course. I'm trying to get this course and second book completed by the end of August. And it's if I put something out there, I'm like Raw. I'm gonna give it everything that I got. If I'm gonna put my brand, Talk Man Talk is my brand, right?
Right.
And I want it to be well-known brand, always in demand, right? So people pay for, excellence.
Right.
That's what people pay for. So that's me.
Awesome. Beautiful. Manny, talk to us. What you have going on, any last minute words, and how people can find you.
Um, Everybody can find me on social media, Arthur Manny Morales. Find the book on Amazon. It's in English and in Spanish. I'm still working on getting the audiobook out. It's going to be amazing. I already see it in my head. Um, Ra and Tim kind of, said it all. Like, you have to believe in yourself, be consistent, don't give up. Like, just trust the process because the process is definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Right.
People just see, what's posted on social media, and like, we said today, they don't see what's in the background. Like, there's so much work, sleepless nights,
Mm.
early mornings, especially if you have a day job like me. I have a day job still, so I'm still stuck on that 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and seeing this part of the industry and being um, starting this journey, like I realized that, being an entrepreneur, there's no clock in and clock out like, all of us were, programmed to be.
Right.
So it's difficult. I'm not saying that I'm gonna give up because, I can't give up. I it's not just a vision, it's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? You feel that excellence that you have inside of you. You know what I'm saying? That thing that drives you. So, just don't let fear of, what is it that I say? Don't let the fear of failure overcome the righteousness of success, because we're all going to fail at something.
Right.
It's what you do with that knowledge going forward is
Right.
what determines what type of person you are. So
Right.
Well, see,
I appreciate Rob being on the show. I definitely appreciate. Yeah, you definitely dropped a lot of jewels for these people. Um, and yeah, I can't wait till part 2 comes out, man. Because like you definitely still have a lot going on, and you've been through so much, just like all of us on this panel. We've been through so
Right.
much in our lives, and we've overcome it because we have that character in us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have that drive and determination, the work ethic that we've always was instilled in us from childhood, our parents. So I definitely appreciate you being on the show, brother.
Facts. I appreciate being on. Like I said, y'all having me because y'all booked up. Jeez.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
definition of booked and busy. Y'all a definition. So to slide me in there, I feel thankful. Yes, I was talking to her. She was like, "Yeah, I think I might have some room around September." I was like, "What? Wait, hold on, what?
That's what I said.
I'm only booked up to May. Me personally, I'm like, yo, hold on. Like,
Every day, yes, he was like, "What? Wait a minute, slow down."
Right. Kudos to Manny. He's been pushing.
pushing, man.
Yes.
Jacksonville, Florida is the most untapped resource. Like, there's so much culture down here.
Yep.
And like, it never gets past that 95. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I'm here and I'm just motivated, and God put me on this platform, this Oyendia TV, to showcase a lot of people.
right.
And I've been grateful to be able to network with different people to get them out there and have people know who they are.
Right.
Networking is
Key.
great. Like it's the best thing. Like
It's a network is your net worth.
there you go.
That's
And
a
like,
good.
you can't be scared to talk to people. Like I was an introvert because authors are introverts anyway. You know what I'm saying? We create other worlds so we can escape reality. So yeah, I was an introvert. Yeah,
I don't believe it, Manny. I'm sorry. No te creo.
shy.
You or Tim? No, I cannot see no introvert on neither of you.
But I'm a loner.
Yeah, you have to be able to
I
get
mean, you
out.
can be a loner, but that doesn't mean you're an introvert.
Well, I'm not an introvert, but my circle is really tight because I just I can't afford like Rob was saying. It's just certain people, and it's nothing that where I think I'm any better than anybody else. But if a person is not moving forward or making progress or being productive, that's not somebody that I need to be associated with because when we talked about working out, one of the things I learned is compromise is an ugly thing because one compromise greases the wheel for the next compromise.
Right.
So
right.
I've got to remain consistent. For me, Rob, really, if that's one thing I got from you tonight, brother, and I got a lot of stuff is that I've got to become more consistent. When it comes to getting in the gym, because that is key. And I knew it, but you know what? Sometimes hearing it like come from somebody else, right?
Yeah.
It's just it strikes that spark, right?
Yeah.
We all need it, bro. Like that's the thing about when you said earlier about how I know y'all trying to close. I hope I'm not trying to take y'all over, but I do I just want to say that's the major importance right there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like I say, there's not very few things that you can do as a man to prove who you are outside of you saying it. And then it's only up to the person you're talking to believe it. But seeing is believing as well. And if they can see how consistent you are, it's very hard for them to try to take you any other way.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that I want to present to my family and to the people that actually believe enough in me to be a part of the things that I do, is that they see the consistency in me. Like, I'm not telling people to do something that I'm not doing myself.
Right.
There's bosses and then there's leaders,
Right.
right? And I believe
Exactly.
that I was gifted to be a leader,
There you go.
versus being somebody's boss,
Right.
right? So everything I tell people to do, I do myself. Yo, come here.
That's a good point. So Manny, going back to you, I don't believe that you're introvert, but you were saying other stuff. So
Yeah, that was it. Just I I appreciate everything that we're doing. Like
yeah,
it's
me
gonna
too.
touch one person, and that's all. That's what that's the satisfaction that I get out of doing this. Just touching that one person. If somebody watches our show, and it gives them that drive to go out there and take that step like I did through that door and not look back, then I did my job. That's my mission, to be able to help people, introverts like I was, to get out of that box, because they have something special and they just aren't conscious enough of themselves to
True,
be able to put it out. You know what I'm
true,
saying?
true,
And
true. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
my
Here's
mission.
the number one killer of all dreams, y'all.
Yes. Right.
yeah, no, absolutely right. And that's what I say for those watching, and they say, "What is Oyandia? Why Oyandia?" Let me tell you this: Oyandia, our goal and mission is to positively motivate and influence people to think differently, because our society is so stuck in just either old school based on traditions or what they see on TV,
Right.
that they are so into that mindset that they don't allow themselves opportunities to think differently. And so that's why we want to challenge you. Each episode that you listen to, I want to challenge you to think differently, because we all walk on different paths. We have different upbringings, different influences that make us who we are, different mindsets, the way we think, the way we speak, the way we act, the way we are, our demeanor, our presence, our spirit. We're all different.
Right.
And so the goal is to embrace that difference, embrace who we are, who God made us to be, because I believe in God. God is amazing. Who God made us to be, and accept that we're all going to be different, and it's okay. It's okay to agree to disagree, like Tim and I were saying a few episodes ago. It's okay to agree or disagree respectfully, but thinking, "Oh, okay, I like what Ra had to say. I didn't think about it that way. I like what Manny had to say. I didn't think about it that way. I like what Yessi and Tim had to say. I didn't think about it that way." So
Right.
that's the purpose of Oyandia, is to help you think differently, motivate you positively, because we do understand that there's so much toxicity in this world, so much
Right.
negativity, that the goal here is to be positive, uplifting, and to just help y'all out. We're helping each other too. We're helping each other, we're helping you. So, with that being said, like I said before, the sky is never the limit, because the galaxies are endless. You have
Yes.
to believe in you. Like Ra was saying, believe in your purpose, keep pushing, consistency. Each and every one of us drop jewels tonight, and we
Right.
appreciate you all viewing, your support. Stay tuned for another episode. I am Yessi Rodriguez. Find me on Google, Yessi Rodriguez. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. Go on my website, yessirodriguez.com. Shout out to the sponsors. We have so many sponsors: Collective Wear, we have Divine Beauty and Accessories, Talk Man Talk Radio, author Manny Morales. Ooh, we have a bunch. So again, thank you. Shout out to you all. Buenas noches, mi gente. Hasta pronto.
Bendiciones.
Peace.
Adios. Bye.
Peace, everybody.